What did we discuss in our last class? ELB, correct? So let me share this. Okay, can you please confirm? Can you see my screen and can you hear me well? Okay, so do you remember yesterday we learned the steps of setting up the load balancer? So the paint will open soon. But meanwhile, do you remember the steps that we're going to do? So what is the first thing that we should do? We should go and launch EC2 instances with the user data, correct? So we have the user data ready with us? Yes. And then how many EC2 instances minimum we should launch? 2. Can you launch multiple also? Up to you. So here we'll go and launch only 2. One EC2 instance in one availability zone, another EC2 instance in another availability zone. So meanwhile, let's go ahead and then launch. So go to instances and then click on launch. So can I call it as server 1? Call it as server 1. And then browse more AMIs. Retar. Let's go for the Linux. Select. And then down. Instance type. T2 micro. Key pair is 6 PM batch. Edit. So I'll put it in 1A. Select existing group. Defaults. Come down. Expand it. And if you come at the bottom, you see user data. Should we go and put our user data there? Okay. So guys, what I'll do is here, I paste it here. Hey, this is my first website on EC2. I want to show you the load balancing, all right? The applications on the multiple EC2 instance should be same or different. It should be same, correct? So here you have server 1, you have server 2. And load balancer, first request will go to server 1, second request will go to server 2. But we are putting the same application, no? Do you see, from the load balancer, do you understand where it is going? We don't know, right? Which EC2 instance is going, we don't know. Just to show you on your, just to show you, should I put it as server 1 here? So when it goes, it shows server 1. When I launch another EC2 instance, I'll put server 2 so that you see the load balancing. But in your real time, the application should be same. I call it as server 1. So I copy this and I go ahead and then launch. Should I go and launch one more EC2 instance? Oh, okay, my paint is open now. So let me go ahead and launch one more server. Launch instance. Call it as server 2 and then browse. Go with the retar, which is Red Hat. Come down, T2 micro, and select our 6 PM batch. And then with subnet, I'll go with 1B so that you will understand load balancer can send the traffic to multiple availability zones. So select existing security group and then default. So down and then open it, add the user data. Here I call it as server 2. And then go and launch. So let's wait until the EC2 instances are up and running. So next, we need to check our security groups. In security groups, what is the protocol with that I need to allow? HTTP. Very good. So go to the security group in inbound rules, edit. Do we have already HTTP? But it is for everyone. Should we remove this and put it as only my IP? That's fine. And then save rules. Now, should we wait until the EC2 instance is up and running? What is the next step? So we should know whether the user data is executed properly or not. Correct? So that meaning, how do you identify it? If it is working or not? So you, yes, select the server one and then take the public IP address and then put it in the browser. If you put it in the browser, you should get that. Hey, this is my website on server one, and make sure that server two is also working fine. So now, once that is working fine, then we need to go ahead and create what? Load balancer. Okay, now? So let's wait a minute. So both are cooking. So do you see the architecture that? So we launched for the first one, we launched the EC2 instance here. And then in security group, we allowed HTTP, and then check our instance index, our user data is working properly or not. So should I quickly test? It is still, one is 2 checks are passed, right? Should I copy it here? Copy it and then put it in the browser. Is it working? Super, it is working. And then go to server 2, copy this address and then put it. Is it working? It is working. So my application is working on my EC2 instance. So you need to make sure that application should be working first. If application is not working, will it work from the load balancer? No, doesn't make any sense. So if it is not working here itself, there might be two issues. There might be two issues. Number one, so if you, when you are doing the practicals, if you say my my application is not working, what is the problem? Two things. Number one is security group, and second, number two is user data. User data, there might be a problem, maybe some quotation or something you might have removed. User data didn't work, shell script didn't work properly, and the application is not installed. So check on these two things. Now ready? So should we go and create what now? Load balancer. On the left side, do you see this here? Load balancer. Okay. So click on create load balancer. And did we remember, do you remember we discussed about these 4 load balancers already? Yes. Which is the load balancer that we should select? ALB. Application load balancer. So click on create. Okay. Name. Can I call it as my ELB? Give any name is fine. And your scheme is internet facing or internal facing? Internet facing. Very good. Yesterday we learned now what is internet facing and what is internal facing. If it is going for internal, will it work from your internet? No, it is for the private. So IP address, you want IPv4 or IPv6? IPv4, don't go for dual stack. Dual stack meaning you will get both IPv4 and IPv6. At the moment, we are going for only IPv4. Listeners, did we learn about listeners yesterday? So your load balancer listen on which protocol? HTTP. So HTTP or HTTPS. For HTTPS, we need to have what? Certificates. So which is the service where we go and create certificates? Paytm. ACM, okay. ACM, what is the full form of ACM? Amazon Certificate Manager. So it is chargeable, but I'll show you how to do it. Okay. So I'll go with the HTTP here. Okay. And availability zones. So which is your load balancer should send the traffic to which availability zones here? 1A, 1B. Do you need to 1C? No need. If you have EC2 instance in 1C, go with it. So what Apurva is asking, the difference between IPv4 and IPv6. Simple version. IP address that we are using here is version 4. That is IPv4. So since I started my career, people are saying that IPv4 is getting over. So IPs are getting reduced. So many people says that once we are done with IPv4, then we will move to IPv6. Okay. So, but remember, IPv6 is not yet used anywhere. It's very rare. And also IPv6 is only for the moment, it is only for the public IPs. There is no private IP concept in IPv6. That is why people are going with still IPv4 only. So we will also, and maybe next few years also, we'll go with the IP4. And not next few years, till we become old, we'll go with the IPv4 only. Because since 10 years, I'm listening this. Okay. So now add-on services. Remember, we discussed about global accelerator. It's just a matter of click. But do you need to create a global accelerator? Not required. So if you create a global accelerator, your global accelerator will send the request to where? To the load balancer only, no? So global accelerator is using Anycast or unicast? Anycast. How many IP addresses you will get it? 2 static IP addresses you will get it. So you can use it for the customers. But if at all you want, click it and give the name. That's it. Automatically get created. But don't do that. Okay, it will be charged. Is it clear? Step number 1. And then click on next, configure security settings. And it says improve your load balancer security. Which is a protocol that we are using here? HTTP. Is it secure? No. That's why it is giving a warning saying that, Babu, your load balance is not using any secure listener. We'll say, right? So click on, so we know, right? So we know later in the real time, which is the protocol you should use. HTTP, yes. But do we have any certificates now? No. For that reason, we'll go with the HTTP. So ignore this message and click on next, configure security groups. Which is a security group we should be using it? Default. Do you want to create a new one? Don't create it. Many people, what they have the habit, next, finish. If you click on next, it will create a new security group. And you will be giving the inbound rules in the default security group. You will start saying that, sir, my application not working. So don't create the security group. Select with the existing security group, which is default one. That's fine. So now click on next, configure routing. And this one is related to your target group. Do you remember? We need to create load balancer and also target group. Name. What is the target group that we thought to give? You can give anything. So I call it as app TG, application TG. Target type is your instance, IP address, lambda functions. Instance only, no? So by default, it is selected. You can select the IP address also, but don't go with the IP address. And then you can create multiple lambda functions. You can do the load balancing for the lambda functions also. But when you go, not now, maybe in your future, whenever you go a little bit advanced. And then protocol, it should be HTTP. Port number 80. Which version will you go for it? HTTP version? Go with the version 1. And health checks. Remember, who will be doing the health checks? Load balancer will be doing health checks. So load balancer will be doing the health checks on the application or on the server? Application only, right? What is our application inside? Index.html. Yes or no? So here path it is saying. So if you put slash, it doesn't work. So if you, what is the page that we need to give it here? Index.html. This is a mistake everyone will do here. So here you need to put slash index.html. Many people will remove slash here and they'll keep only index.html. Will that work? No. So this is slash index.html. So guys, in your real time, if you have a big application, will you give the home page here? Don't give, because this load balancer will do the health checks every 30 seconds. Your application will get loaded. Your application will get stressed by the load balancer itself by doing the health checks, not for your customers. So in your application, right? No need to give the full path. So you'll have index.html directly, right? So in your real time, you have application, right? In that application, take one small, create one small HTML file, alive.html or something. You and then put that here, that HTML here. Don't give your direct application here because it will get stressed. Okay. No need to give the full path. Just go with the index. So how the health checks will do, guys? Load balancer, it will try to ping to the EC2 instance with the IP address and then application only, no? So http:// IP address /var/ww/ index.html. This is how you put it in your URL? No, that's the reason here. No need to give the full difference. Yes. Okay. Is it clear on health checks? And here advanced health checks. So if you click on advanced health checks, and do you see this here? We have healthy threshold. Healthy threshold. What's the meaning of healthy threshold? The number of consecutive health checks success required before considering unhealthy. So this load balancer will go and say, Are Babu index.html, are you there? Present, sir. Are you there? Present, sir. Number 2, second time. Are you there? Yes, sir. Are you there? Yes, sir. How many times will you get? It will get 5 times. It will check. Oh, 5 times check meaning index.html is there. So I'll consider that EC2 instance as healthy. And if it is not responding, hey, index.html on this EC2 instance, are you there? No response. Are you there? No response. Unhealthy threshold, two times. If it is not getting response for this 2 times, the load balancer will consider the EC2 instance as unhealthy. Timeout. Array index.html, are you there? Are you there? Are you there? It will wait for 5 seconds. If no response, unhealthy. So this load balancer will do the health checks every 30 seconds. Do you see the interval is 30? What is the status code that you will get? 200. So these values can be changed. This can be override based on your application. Is it clear? But you don't need to do anything here in settings. But it will learn that? Yes. Is it clear? Step 4. And click on next register targets. So we created a target group. In that target group, we need to register the targets. No? What does the target group contain? Targets. Targets is nothing but EC2 instances. 200 for timeout also. 200 is what? HTTP status code, no? What is there in the 200 timeout? There's no timeout for 200. If it is not getting, if it is 200, it will consider as healthy. If it is not getting 200, it is considered unhealthy. Simple as that. Okay, now here register targets. We have register targets. And we need to register target to this target group. No, what are the EC2 instances that we need to register? Server 1, server 2. Many people, what they do is they'll just select this thing and they'll click on next. That will not get registered. You need to click on add to register. You need to click on add to register. Guys, I'm telling you one real-time thing, but sometimes, guys, your index.html is working on which port number? 80. Fantastic. Which number? 80. Sometimes you have your application which is running on different port number. Let's say 8080. 8080. Your application working on 8080. Then in that case, all the requests will come on the HTTP 80 only, no? But your application is running on, will it respond on 80? It will not respond on 80. Then how do you do that? For your client, will you give 8080? No, you should not give 8080. It should be a default port 80 only. Then how do you do this? Guys, if your application having 8080, this is the place where you need to put 8080. This is your application port number. Please keep that in mind. This is application port number. When you're adding the targets, when you're registering the targets, give the application port number here. So your load balancer will convert it. Load balancer will take on port 80 only, and from port 80 it will convert to 8080 because you are giving the 8080 on here. So you're adding the you're adding the instances. You're registering the instances on 8080. So, but here our application is running on 80 only. Please keep them. That will be helpful for you. So select this, and you need to click on add to register. Do you see this? Add to register. Then only you'll come here. If you don't add it, target groups will be empty. Okay, click on it. Yeah, that's port forwarding only, Stalin. That is in our language. Okay. So here, now click on next review. Do you all understand how to create a load balancer with target groups and EC2 instances? And click on boom, create. Boom, got created. Your load balancer is now provisioning. So once it is active, your load balancer will start working. Let's see. So it will take 1 minute or a couple of minutes to get it active. And meanwhile, if you see description and how, whenever I told you that, starting this, I'm telling you, whenever you create a load balancer, it will give a nasty URL. Yes or no? DNS. How do you access ELB? Using DNS name. Do you see this DNS name? This is the DNS name that you will get. There is question. If you put 8080 instead of 80, your application will work? It will not. Because your application is working on which port number? 80. If you put 8080 there, your request will go and search with the big eyes. Where is 8080 port number application? Nothing will be there, and it says that service not available or application not available. So it's still provisioning. And this is the ARN, big ARN. Okay. And this is the DNS name. So this is a nasty URL. If you want to do the makeup, go to Route 53 and we do it. There is a question from Mishra. If we mention in security group, is there any relation to that? Security group is just on the security group. You need to allow what port number only? 80 only. In your security group, your load balancer will be listening on HTTP 80, HTTPS 443. Will you give up to your customer? Will you give other than 80, like 8080, 8143, 21443 like this? Will he is interested to access his application with that port numbers? No, for customer, it should be always a default port number. In our inside, our application can be on any port number. But how do you forward that port number to different port number? In that while creating the load balancer, we are adding registering the targets, there you need to mention it. But security group is easy, is only for the incoming traffic on which port number. If you put 8080 there in security group, will our application will work? Got it? No. Same. Your application, let's say Tomcat. If you install Tomcat on your EC2 instance, Tomcat generally work on which port number? 8080 only. 8080 only. So each application will have its own port numbers. It's no need to be on only 80. Okay, so I'll refresh it. Let's see whether it's active or not. And do you see this? It is active. So now should I go and copy this and put it in the browser? And hit it. Do you see this? The request went to which server? Should I refresh? 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Load balancing. One request is sending to server 1, another request going to server 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. This is called load balancer. Understood? Right? It is equally distributing the traffic, no? Is the app work on different port number in different availability zone? Again, the basic concept you missed, Ramya. So now she's asking, is the application work on different port number in different availability zone? That meaning you have server 1. Server 1 is in which availability zone? Server 2 is in which availability zone? The application should be same or different. The port number on server 1 and server 2 should be same or different. Okay, is it possible to put different port numbers? Will it work if you put different port numbers? That is the answer for it. Answer is no. Do you all understood how to set up load balancer and how to access it? And this is my habit. So if I go and stop my server 1, my application will get affected? No, because we have the request will go to server 2. So my application working now. Let us go and see what are the things we have it here. In description, that's fine. You can edit all these things. Security group, yeah. Do you see this here? We have attributes. This is advanced thing. We no need to go for each and everything, but few things that you need to remember. Let's see. In actions, can you edit subnets? Subnets is nothing but this one. 1A, 1B, 1C. While creating the load balancer, we got now 1A, 1B, 1C. If you want 1C also, select 1C. Otherwise, remove it. There is a question again. Pavanveer, can we access directly the instances. Okay, you have set up. Can we make them not reachable? You are saying, can we access directly the instances? And also you are also saying, can we make them not reachable? The question itself is contradicting, no? So, and okay, let me open this and see. Now you tell me, your customer is here, your client is here. Do you access directly to connect to the EC2 instance like this? What is the purpose? Right? So, okay, if you give the IP address of the EC2 instance also, he can access only one EC2 instance. Do you have any redundancy there? So this machine will anytime will go, no? Your application will work to the customer? No. And by the, and that too, I'm telling you, see. In VPC, we'll learn this, but at least now you just make sure that there are two types of subnets or two types of networks. One is public network, private network. What, Nana? Public network, private network. Your load balancer should be in which network? Public network, because everyone, all customers should get connected to your load balancer. Your EC2 instance should be in which network? Private network. Now tell me, your client who is in internet can directly connect to your private subnet? No. Can he connect to the load balancer? And once he connect to the load balancer, it will distribute the traffic to like this. This is the best practice to do it. And this is how you should be doing it. And you cannot enable access directly to the EC2 instance. That is wrong method. That's not secure. Okay. So if you go to actions, edit IP address type, will you go to dual mode? Don't go for dual mode. Okay. Edit security group. Do we have which security group we have attached? Default. If you have multiple security groups, go with the multiple. Otherwise, no need. Edit attributes. Let's see. You have so many things here, but important thing that you should be using it here is deletion protection. We can enable deletion protection, meaning someone push command accidentally delete the load balancer. Will it get deleted if you enable this? No. So you need to come back, disable this, and then delete it. Ideal timeout. Generally, in EC2 instance, you have application. In EC2 instance, you have application, correct? Maybe your application is is a heavy application. By the time you open the application, it will take at least 100 seconds. It is heavy, no? Can you give me one heavy application website that you access generally? Huh? Which one? Phone pay. PUBG. Application on the website, I'm saying. Okay, let's say Netflix. Okay, we have Netflix. So if you take Netflix, it has so many videos and so many images and so many things, correct? Sometimes your Netflix, it will take time to get loaded because it has to load that heavy things. And your process will be working. And then by the time your Netflix comes, it is taking 100 seconds to come that Netflix page for you. And if you put the ideal timeout on the load balancer as 60 seconds, your Netflix will work. After 60 seconds, load balancer will disconnect your session, saying that application is not working. So if you have heavy applications, then go ahead and then increase this ideal timeout. Otherwise, keep it as it is. There is another question. Sir, can we keep server 1 and server 2 only on 1A or only on 1B? Again, basic question missing. We learned this on starting days. Remember, we learned high availability concept. Can you set up high availability in one availability zone? You can do it, but is recommended. And also I gave this question. I have asked you to launch 10 machines. Will you go and launch all 10 machines in 1A availability zone? Can you do it? Yes, is recommended. What happens if 1A goes down? Right? So that's the reason your EC2 instance should be spreaded across multiple availability zones. Okay. Now cross-zone load balancing. Just now we discussed. Can your load balancer can send the traffic to multiple availability zones? Yes, and you are using HTTP2 also. And desync mitigation mode, this is not required for you. Determines how the load balancer handles requests that might pose a security risk to your application. So is it defensive method, text method, or monitoring method? It should be always defensive. It should defend. Your load balancer should defend any issues. So let's leave all these things. And here we have access logs. Another question. Can we reduce the idle timeout below 60 seconds? Can you reduce it? You can reduce it. But when you open your boom.com application, so let's say you have put 5 seconds. You hit in your URL, you hit boom.com. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, close, disconnect. Does it make any sense to reduce the idle timeout? No, always keep little bit bigger. How does the load balancer works for different regions? Load balancer is global or regional? Regional. Can load balancer can send the traffic to another region? Yes or no? No, right? You have created the load balancer in Mumbai. So load balancer will send the EC2, load balancer will send the traffic to the EC2 instance, which is in Mumbai region only, no? That only you are attaching it. So your EC2 is regional. Can load balancer can send the traffic to Ireland region? And we have access logs here, right? Let's say you want to know who is accessing your load balancer. Let's say in real time, you will have this scenario where your manager or your monitoring team will ask, can you give me the logs of load balancer? That meaning who is accessing, when they are accessing, what they are accessing, what status code they are getting, from which IP address they are accessing the load balancer, right? Let's say you have your nice application you have hosted, boom.com, and it is in internet. And you want to know who are all using your application. Only Indians are using, or Africa people are using, or Ching Chong is using, Tokyo Wala. So whoever is using your application, their IP address will be recorded in logs. By seeing that logs, you can see that from where are the places that your load balancer getting access. Murali is saying RCA. So they don't understand what is RCA, Murali. But generally RCA meaning root cause analysis. Just in case, let's say if something went really wrong on your load balancer, you need to check the logs. Your load balancer your application got hacked at this time. So can you go and can you go and check the logs at that particular time, who was accessing it, from which location it is? So all the logs will be saved in your S3 bucket. If you go and enable it, it will give S3 bucket. So you just give it some name, a bucket will be created, and then all the logs will be stored over there. There is another question. If I deploy my application in 3 different regions, then I need to create 3 load balancers, right? Huh? I have 3 regions. I have 3 different applications. Do I need to create 3 load balancer or 1 load balancer? 3 load balancer, right? In one region, can I create one load balancer, right? So if you are in one region, 1 load balancer, can 1 load balancer can handle multiple applications? Yes, that is possible using target groups. Nice. Remember we discussed about WAF. What is the full form of WAF? Web application firewall. What is that? Web application firewall. I'll say this joke when I see your faces. When I was in school, obviously when teacher is teaching, obviously we'll get sleep. Yes or no? We'll get sleep. That is fine. Teacher can easily identify he's sleeping or not. So we will be just drowsing like this, and then, hey Riaz, are you sleeping? No, sir. I'm not sleeping. Okay, that is fine. But all of a sudden, He will say, Riaz, stop taking you out your nails. He'll say, stop tearing your nails. We'll be sitting like this. And how come sir will understand I'm tearing my nails to my foot nails? I always confuse. I really confuse. How does sir will know, right? When I'm tearing my nail to my legs. Then, sometime later, after so many years, I asked, sir, how do you know? Do you have any magic power and all? Right? And he said that when you're tearing your nails, your face expression will change. Like this. And I'll always keep saying that, stop doing that. So that's why when your hair fan is on top, Seshi is sleeping, there on bottom, like, తాగుబోతలు చేస్తారు కదా. When I seeing him, it is like that only. He's like, no. Or else one is that drinking person, and other, not only many people. And another is like, like how that girl will do in that Virupaksha. Like this. Your eyes and going up. Okay, good. So when you're sitting under fan, it's always AC straight. That too. Huh? Okay, nice. Okay, so online people not understand. That's fine. Okay, see here we have WAF. What is the full form of WAF? Web application firewall. What's that? Web application firewall. What does this WAF will do is, whenever you're hitting your application in the browser, boom.com, for example, that will go and hit your load balancer. Yes or no? Before the load balancer, we have something called WAF. It is like a shield. What does the WAF will do is, WAF will stop all your hacking, and it is like a prevention system. So all DDoS attacks or HTTP flooding, SQL injections, all any kind of hacking related things, the WAF will stop it. So if someone is coming for hacking, they'll come with some weapons that will get identified by the WAF, and that request will not go inside. So the WAF will help to secure your application on the load balancer. Write down. WAF, web application firewall, is used to secure the application. WAF is used to secure the application. In brackets, both are different. Sufyan. WAF will say, what did I say? WAF? WAF is used to secure the application. So WAF, again, right? WAF stops hacking. WAF stops hacking. In brackets, DDoS attacks. DDoS meaning DDoS. 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 D for daddy, D for daddy, O for OWA. Okay. Yes, for system, whatever it is. Okay. DDoS attacks. WAF stops hacking. DDoS attacks. And then you can say SQL injections. SQL injections. SQL. 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 SQL, ma. SQL server is, SQL injections. SQL injections or any hacking methods. Okay, so that is WAF. Okay. Okay. See here, guys. And then we have TLS version and Cypher headers here, guys. Important. So TLS version and Cypher. Give me a second. 1 second. Okay. So TLS version meaning we are using certificates, no? SSL certificates. So there we have TLS version, transport layer security. Yes, Sufyan said. So there you have versions. Generally, when this will be useful, this will be useful when you are getting audited in your company. Your application will be security audited by the customers. So how secure your application is. So there they have the checklist. What is the TLS version you are using? What is the cipher keys that you are using? What is the headers you are using? Right? Are you using WAF or not? So all these checks will be happening by the auditor. So if you want to secure your application, you need to turn on all these things. Okay. This is client port reservation, which is used for it. There is something called X forwarded header should preserve the client. Actually, we have a source port from where the source port is coming. You want to preserve that port to go to the load balancer or not. Basically, this for your advanced topics, not required now. So here, you all understood a little bit on these attributes. So mainly keep this in mind. Ideal timeout, cross-zone load balancing, access log, WAF, and TLS versions are important here. Okay, there is question. If I deploy same application in 4 different regions, do I need to use CloudFront or 4 ELB different regions? CloudFront is just used for caching purpose. It will not route it, right? So you need to create how many load balancers you need to create? 4 load balancers you need to create, and need to use Route 53 to distribute the traffic to different regions. So that will, when we go to Route 53, we'll talk on it. Okay, so security, we have discussed all these things. No, that is different, Sufyan. And then we have, let's go for listeners. I'll come back to the listeners soon. So monitoring, you can monitor how your, how many request counts are there, and then what is the response time, you can do it. Integrated services, global accelerator, don't do it, leave it. So now load balancer actions we have seen. We have what? Target groups. Click on target group. Did we create a target group already? What is the target group that we created? AppTG. So if you go hit description here also, here also you have attributes, correct? These are all versions. These are all fine. We know this. And this target group is attached to which load balancer? MyLB. And you see attributes here. Deregistration delay. What is that called? Deregistration delay. Deregistration delay meaning, let's say, for example, guys, these are all real time. Deregistration delay meaning, let's say you have EC2 instances. And not, okay, how many EC2 instances are there now? Server 1 and server 2. 2 are there. If one goes down, second will take care. If second also goes down, do we have any, everything will get impacted, correct? If you don't want to have downtime, what is the thing that we need to implement on top of it? Auto scaling. What we need to implement? Auto scaling, correct? We need to implement auto scaling. So in auto scale, what is auto scaling? Scale out and then scale in. So fatafat, scale out will happen and scale in will be happening. When it is removing the servers, let's say auto scaling is removing server 1. For example, scale in is happening, it is removing server 1. And some client might be connected to the server 1 at that time. Connections will be there for server 1, no. So will the auto scale will go and just delete the server 1 just like that and drop the customer's connection? No. So if you use this deregistration delay, concept here is deregistration delay meaning it will wait for 300 seconds and all in-flight, we call it as in-flight request. What is that? In-flight meaning the requests which are in progress. In-flight requests will get completed. After that only, it will get deregistered from the target group. We have registered to the target group, no? Deregister meaning taking out, removing from the target group. Register meaning registering it. Deregister meaning removing it. And slowly it will, how much time will it take to register? 300 seconds meaning how many minutes? 5 minutes. Slow start duration. Slow start duration meaning just in case scale out happen. Scale out happen. Guys, these are all pearls. Nowhere you will get all these things. I'm telling you. So please learn. Please keep that in mind. So I was telling our slow start duration meaning scale out has happened. When scale out has happened, new server will get created. So load balancers should send the traffic to the new server, no? So how much time should load balancer should wait to get the EC2 instance ready? Now all of a sudden, you have your own friends, your friend, and you asked, get ready. Will it get ready? She'll get ready immediately? How do you know? She'll not get ready, no, normally. So we are gents, we whatever they are nice, they have God made them very beautiful. So they will get ready very nicely. So it will take time, correct? So now here also, if you go and say, come immediately with me, they will come? No, you need to give some time so that they can look properly. So here also, guys, here also we have slow start duration. When the EC2 instance, new EC2 instance come up, you need to give little bit time to get it initialized, get it ready, get the application inside it, and get ready to take the request and serve. That is called slow start duration. So here it is 0 second. That meaning when the initialization is done, immediately load balancer will send it. But is it good to keep to 0? Give a little bit 2 minutes, 1 minute, 2 minutes, no? Load balancing algorithm. What is the method that load balancer is using? Round robin. What is that? Round robin. Do you see this here? Okay, I edit it. No, I edit it. Do you see? Deregistration delay is this. Slow start duration. You can go all the way from 30 to 900. And then load balance algorithm we use round robin. What is round robin? Remember? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then you can use another method which is called least outstanding request. Least outstanding request meaning you have server 1 and server 2. Server 1 is handling only 5 requests. Server 2 is handling 20 requests. Now next request will go to server 1 or server 2? Server 1, because it is handling low requests. So least outstanding request. Based on that also your load balancer can send. Based on a requirement, you can go and select it. And then here you have stickiness. What stickiness generally meaning? Stickiness. So now there might be a requirement that your request should go only to server 1. All your requests should go only to server 1. Let's say you are using your bank, your internet banking. Whenever you log into the internet banking, the request will go and connect to the server 1. Example. Okay. And whatever the operations that you do in that your internet banking, all these transactions should go to server 1 or server 2. So that meaning all your sessions should get stick to where? Server 1 only, no? So just in case your session is sticking to server 2, what happened? Do you get the connection? It says session expired. Because the connection ideal timeout is gone. So for that reason, so developers, they use this stickiness, right? They'll use cookies, sessions like this, and you can use stickiness also. And if I enable this, and how much time you want to stick to that one server, let's say 5 minutes. You can put it in hours also. Let's say 5 minutes, I put it. I click on save. Now, let's see. 1, 2, 1, 2. Now, if you take after some time, after few seconds, this will stick to only one server. And if I refresh Alto, will it go to second server? No, let's see. I'm refreshing it. See, it is stick to which server now? I'm refreshing it, but still it is sticking to server 2. If you have that kind of requirement also, you can go for the stickiness. Okay, that's it. And targets. Guys, in your target course, what do you have? You have targets. And the target status is healthy. The target status is healthy. Guys, once you set up a load balancer with your EC2 instances, and make sure come to the target group and come to the target and see those are healthy or not. If these are healthy, then only your application work. Yes or no? Load balancer is doing health check. No. Once the load balancer is doing health checks, if the health check is good, then only it will become healthy. If health check is failed, then it will become unhealthy. So if your application is not working, first what you need to come and check, see here targets are healthy or unhealthy. If it is unhealthy, what is it meaning? If it is unhealthy, what meaning? What's the meaning? Application is not working. Health checks are passing? No. So that load balancer is able to talk, use index.html of that server? No, that means your application not working, something went wrong there. You're getting it? And anytime you can come and change this health checks, index.html here, monitoring is normal thing. Is it clear, ma? Everyone? Is it clear, everyone? Any questions before I take up? So I still have topic, and your task is, I no need to tell. What is your task? Same. Set up the load balance, set up the application on the with the load balancing. Okay. And I want you to go in each and every option. How I showed you today, that's how you need to go and check. Select the Chitty, see here. Select the load balancer. Go to description and see what all the things you have. And go to listeners. Did we talk about listeners? No. Let's talk about the listeners now. See here, very important. Guys, all the traffic, now you tell me, based on this, all the traffic is going to which target group? AppTG. Yes or no? 100% traffic is going to AppTG. Now, I want you, okay, you do AppTG, whatever I have showed today, you do it. And additionally, you should do one more thing here. Can you set up server 3 and server 4? Can you launch server 3 and server 4? Yes or no? In that user data, instead of /index.html, you put /admin. Same user data. Instead of in the last here, instead of index.html, you need to put admin. Don't put admin.html. Only admin. Can you put that user data in server 3 and server 4 and launch? Once you have launched, how do you see whether that is working properly or not? You take the IP address of the EC2 instance, copy it, and put it in the browser. But you have path. If you put like this, will it work? Server 3 and server 4? No. What you need to do? /admin you need to put. If you put like this, then no, it work. But do we have in server 1 we have admin? No, that's why it is not found. But in server 3 and server 4 you will have admin? Yes. Can you launch server 3 and server 4 with /admin now? Yes or no? Yes. Okay. Now you are accessing the load balancer, normal load balancer. It go to the AppTG. But if I go and do /admin in the end, it should go to server 3 and server 4. Same load balancer, it is going to AppTG. And I have path-based routing. Path-based routing. If I put load balancer /admin, the request will go to which one? Server 3 and server 4. That means should I go and create one more target group? Yes. So that is the task that you should be doing it. I'll create the target group and show. See here. Create target group. Can you create a target group here? Create it. What is the target group you can give? Admin TG give. And what is the path? Do you need HTML? No. So can you create the like this, just like that? Yes. Target group is created and you want to add the targets inside it, register the targets. Where you need to go? Click on targets and edit. And do we have server 3 and server 4? Now we don't have, but you have it. Once you do and practice, you will be launching server 3 and server 4 or no? Select that, add to register and click on save. Now I have a target group with server 3 and server 4. And should I need to tell my load balancer? So I need to create a rule in load balancer. How do we create the rules in the load balancer? Go to listeners. Do you see this here? Very important. See here, edit rule. Do you see edit rule? Click on it. By default now, everything 100% is going to which one? AppTG. But now, can I, do you see plus symbol here? Insert rule. Click on insert rule. Now, what is your condition? Do you have path-based routing? Did we learn about query string, host methods, host-based routing? So now we should use what? Path. What is that path? If someone is hitting /admin, then It should forward to which target group? Target group. Admin TG. Plus, click on save. That's it. Can you create the rules like this? Okay, na? See, if it is coming with load balancer / admin, it will go to admin TG. If it is just coming with the load balancer, it will go to app TG. So this is my load balancer. See, it is working. It is going to which TG? It is going to which TG? My load balancer, normal load balancer. App TG. And if I put /admin, it will go to. But do we have server 3 and server 4 now? So what it shows? It will go to the load balancer. With /admin, it will go to the load balancer. Your request will ask, hey, load balancer, do you have /admin? And load balancer says that, yeah, rule is configured, /admin. Go to which TG? Admin TG. And when he went to admin TG, do you have server 3 and server 4? Array service is not available. See? Why we got this? As per your homework, as per the assessment that you will be doing it, the task, you will have server 3 and server 4. So you will get this error. You will get /admin page. And while writing it, guys, in your here you need to change some data. No, don't put only things here. Instead of like this, put, hey, this is path-based routing testing. Give some like this and put it to a /admin. Okay, na? You understood? Interesting. So these are all the real times that we generally I used to do for multiple. Do you know I'm also a consultant? I'm also the one who is working for the US Army projects. So I'm working for US Army project also, where they are using AWS environments. So this is how we'll be doing. So many things we'll be doing there. Okay. So there are a few things that I'm sharing all these things with you. Sir, in my life, I have never seen person teaching like you. Thank you, Gopi. Okay. There is a question here. In real time, default security use or not? In real time, do you use your default security group? Answer is no. We will be architecting our own stuff. No. When we go to VPC section, there we'll set up everything. We don't use any defaults. But until we go there, we'll use defaults. But in real time, nowhere you will be using default things. Default things has so many holes. So don't use it. Is it clear, ma? Everyone? Any questions? So do you have the script? Guys, I'm putting the script, take it. And let me see the task. Wow. Okay, so the task. So here, so 8th step is review all actions in ELB, review all ELB actions and target group actions. Okay, guys, so this is the task. Take those tasks. Okay, there is a request. Sir, if I have 10 requests, can I direct all those only one specific server? I choose using stickiness. What is your answer? Answer is yes. So once you are done with this, guys, any other questions? Should I go and delete all these things? Okay, hold on, see. So load balance listeners. Explore path-based routing, create for instance, 2 instance. So here I'll give one more in select load balancer and go to listeners. Okay. And edit rules. Click plus icon, insert rule. And then what did I do? Insert rule, add condition, path. Add condition, path, and put /admin. Then forward to okay. Guys, and then also here, 9th step is stop one EC2 instance and check the HA on load balancer. Okay. Or stop one EC2 instance and access ELB. It should work. Guys, and if you think that the application should never go down, what you need to implement on top of it? Hibernate. Auto scaling, no. If you don't want to have your downtime on top of your application, what you need to use? Auto scaling. So we have only 2 EC2 instances today. So tomorrow what we do is we'll go and do this auto scaling concept in EC2. Okay, na? So I'm putting this again. So the task too long. Okay. So now how do you delete it, guys? So once you are done with it, what do you need to do? So terminate the EC2 instance. Terminate the EC2 instance and then delete the load balancer. Oi. Guys, hold on. Guys, our sugar patients left. There are close to 95 and left. Guys, that's the reason why I said, until I say final CC, don't leave. See here. We discussed about HTTPS. Yes or no? Very important, no? So I don't know how sugar patients will catch, but see here, guys. So if you want to add HTTPS to your load balancer, how do you do that? Do you see here? Add listener. So here you need to select HTTPS 443. And you need to select the certificate, no? From where do you select the certificate? ACM. What is that? ACM. So we need to, do we have anything in ACM? No certificate, no. So what we need to do, we need to go ahead to the ACM and create a certificate. But remember, to create a certificate, we need to have a domain. Yes or no? Let's say, do you see this here? Do you see the lock symbol? Okay, I go to this. Do you see the lock symbol here? nareshit.zoom.us. That lock symbol is nothing but HTTPS. Connection is secure. And if I click on it, certificate is valid. So click on it. Do you see this here? Zoom star.zoom.us. That is a domain, no? So if you want to purchase the certificate, you need to attach that certificate to the domain. Then only you see here, guys, people were asking about cipher keys and all. So these are all SHA-256 and these are all different. So do you see this here? Here, connection is secure, certificate valid. So this certificate is valid for which domain? naresh80.zoom.us. So can I put naresh80 instead of naresh80? Can I put star? Star meaning I can put any subdomains there. My domain is zoom.us. That is the, so you need to purchase the domain first of all in order to have a certificate. Do we have the domain now? No, but I'll show you how to create a certificate. See there, go to ACM and click on request a certificate, simple. And here select this and click on next. And you see fully qualified domain name. You need to have a domain name, no? So can I put a star.boom.com? That meaning hello.boom.com, images.boom.com, anything I can put it. But I'm getting the certificate for which domain? Boom.com. Do you understand what is star there? Star represent any subdomain. I can put naresh80.boom.com also. I can put seshi.boom.com. I can put riaz.boom.com. Yes. So here, do you see this here? And keep everything here same and click on request. That's it, guys. Once you click it, once you click this, but do we have boom.com guys here? No, that is why it is pending validation. So what you need to do is, guys, here, you all understood how to create certificate? It's very easy, no? Click on request certificate, select it and give the domain name and then click on request. The additional thing what you should do here is go inside this. Guys, you need to create records in Route 53. Just to click on it. Automatically, this below record will get created. This record will get. Once this below record is created, once this below record got created, your certificate will start working. But do we have boom.com? If you have boom.com, then only the certificate will work. Otherwise, it will not work. In Route 53, can we create our own, can we purchase the domains? In Route 53, we can purchase the domains, guys. We can purchase the domains. So if we have purchased the domain called boom.com, this record will get created inside that boom.com. Then only your boom.com will start work. So please write down in your book how to create, how to generate a SSL certificate. How to generate a SSL certificate in AWS. So go to ACM, go to ACM service, right? And then click on request certificate. Without domain, it's not possible. Click on request certificate. And then select request a public certificate. And then next, click on next. Once you click on next, provide domain name. Example, how star.boom.com can be your domain. After that, click on the certificate and create records in Route 53. Make sure you purchase the domain first and then create records. So this is how you create a certificate. Once you create that certificate, do you have the drop down to select the certificate? If you select ACM in listeners here, once you create the certificates, you will get it here and select it and then click on add listener. Bus. This is how you create it. Why, sir, you are not only updated in AWS, you are a way to update it in Instagram, movies, all the with the revision. We are super, very good, Apurva. Yeah. For sir, for creating a domain name, it is mandated to keep star. Is it mandated to keep star? If you want subdomains, put star. If you don't want subdomains, go with boom.com. Simple. But it's always good to go with star.boom.com because in future you can use that certificate for your subdomains also. Did you wrote everything? Done na? Nice. So come back and then delete stuff. This is public certificate, which is good, which is anyways, you will not create it, Sufyan. So guys, see here. Okay. Go to dashboard. Click on everything should be 0 except key page and secret group. Go to instances. Those are terminated. That's fine. But here certificates, I have it. I need to go and delete this. Guys, you no need to go and create the certificates. Okay. Guys, you no need to go and create the certificates. In your real time, someone will create. Otherwise, you go and create because they are ready to pay. Here, there is a charge to pay this to create the certificate. Answer is yes, but very minimum. It's a public certificate. If you go for private certificate, it is way too much cost. This is public certificate, which is only not even $1, less than $1, I think. But do we have the domain here? No. So don't purchase any certificate. So correct. So how do we purchase a domain? In which service do we need to purchase a domain? In Route 53. Where? But did we learn on Route 53 yet? We are in which service? EC2. When we go to Route 53, I'll show how to purchase it. Not now. In case of our daily classes, Zoom has purchased certificates, not Naresh IT. Correct, sir? Zoom is using all the certificates. No, yes, Zoom has its own certificate. So there on top of it, whoever is, guys, whoever is registered and purchased Zoom, and that's the reason why they have star.zoom.us. Star meaning the client name, nareshit.zoom.us. So it is Zoom that who has purchased, not Naresh IT. Because it is a software as a service, no? Everything will be handled by Zoom only, not us. But as we are talking about infrastructure as a service, everything we need to handle it. That's why we need to go and purchase the domain and we need to go and purchase the certificate. Okay, good. Can you give the final CC for today? So please complete your practicals and tomorrow we'll go and see the auto scaling and that will be the end on EC2. And remember, EC2 is the only biggest service and I went to pin. So the rest of the services will not this much big. 2 days, 1 day, 2 day, maximum 3 days. Okay. And don't miss the classes because you'll be missing the services. So that is all guys for today. And I'll see you tomorrow with the auto scaling topic. Until then, take care. Bye-bye. Have a nice day. Good night.